Good afternoon, Roy Thomas with Sutton Group Professional Realty here in Halifax, seniorliving.ca. Today we're going to talk about video 4 in our Aging in Place series. We're going to talk about the associated costs of aging in place staying in your home. There's going to be direct costs, there's indirect costs. So today we're going to go through and give you a list of some of the things that you potentially could expect to incur should you opt to age in place in your home. So let's go through and take a look at the list. We'll start with the direct costs. First is home modifications. Obviously, you're going to have to make some potential modifications in your house. Some may be very simple, like installing some grab bars. Other things may be more expensive. You may need ramps, stair lifts, widening doorways, and doing modifications to bathrooms. Some of these, depending on your house, what needs to be done, can add up to be a very extensive amount of money. It can be very expensive. Let's talk about number 2, assisted devices and equipment. Aging in place will a lot of times require you to purchase equipment to do your daily activities. Devices such as walkers, wheelchairs, shower chairs, commodes, and hearing aids may be things that you need to purchase and those or rent, and those can add up to be quite expensive. Especially if you need specialized equipment. In-home care services. Accessing in-home services such as personal care aides, home health, and companion caregivers can be expensive, particularly depending for those with chronic health issues or disabilities. So this can be a very expensive cost. Medical expenses. You may incur higher medical expenses, such as if you have chronic conditions, receiving preventative care, and accessing specialized healthcare services. They can include things as doctor visits, prescription medications, medical supplies, and therapies. And while the government will pay for a lot of those, there still can be out-of-pocket expenses that you'll have to incur yourself. And last is for a direct cost is technology. Some people will have remote monitoring, the medical alert systems, and those, while they can certainly enhance the quality of life, they are expensive, and in many cases there will be some subscription fees that you have to pay on a monthly basis. All right, moving on, let's look at some of the indirect costs. Number 1, lost income. If you have to retire or reduce your working hours, you're obviously going to incur a loss of income, or you're going to be eating through your retirement savings. This reduction in financial resources certainly affects your ability to cover expenses associated with aging in place. Caregiver expenses. If you happen to have family who are caregivers, they'll often incur certain expenses such as transportation, lost wages if they're taking time off work to help with the family member, or if they're hiring, temporary workers to give them a break. Those costs are going to be involved as well. Opportunity costs. Aging in place is obviously going to limit opportunities for social engagement, leisure activities, and travel. And while staying in your home can certainly provide you with a sense of familiarity and independence, you're also going to sacrifice opportunities to get out and interact with people. One story that comes to mind is a few years ago when I used to walk my dog down the street. There was an older lady who lived in her house, and she was in her 90s. And many times as my dog and I were walking by, I'd see her looking out the window. Occasionally I'd see her son visiting her, or I'd see a few healthcare people coming in for visits. But the vast majority of the time, she seemed to be alone in her house. And I'm thinking that probably wasn't well, she may have been very comfortable in her house. That probably really did affect her ability to interact with other people, as I really don't think she got out a whole lot to meet other people other than her family and the healthcare workers that came in. Home maintenance. This is potentially a big cost. If you're unable to do certain things, you may have to hire people to do cleaning, mow the lawns, do landscaping, shovel the snow, do repairs and maintenance. And if you're hiring contractors, this gets to be a very, very expensive cost, especially over a number of years. And transportation. That also can be expensive. You have to hire a taxi or a driver to take you to doctor's appointments. Some people can't use public transportation because it's just too difficult to get on and off buses, for example. So this can be a very expensive thing that you'll also incur. Now, when it comes down to it, there's no simple answer of what the right or wrong thing is to do. Everybody's situation is different, but in this video, we just wanted to give you an idea of what some of the costs you could be incurring are should you choose to age in place. If you have any questions on this, want to discuss it further, or want to talk about downsizing, feel free to give me a call. You can reach me at 902-497-3031, or you can visit my website at www.halifaxseniorliving.ca. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day.